welcome to another episode of Dexter's Diary. What's up, what's up, what's up? Jumping right in today. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Happy Tuesday. But today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind. And it's about keeping people in your life who don't want to be there. And I think it's something that we all struggle with from time to time, person to person, because there are people that we may genuinely care about and love, and we may think that they're awesome and dope, but they're really not reciprocating the same energy that we're giving, or not doing any type of due diligence to be in our lives. And it becomes a struggle. And it's just like, I feel like you gotta go where you're wanted. And if you don't want me in your life and you seem to, it may not be something that you said outright and made it crystal clear, but energy speaks volumes, action speaks volumes. And if you're not doing the things that I require that you do, and yes, it is a requirement that I feel wanted, it's no different than if I care about you and I'm not one of those people who are overly expressive, and it's something that I am trying to be better at, because I know it makes other people feel like I don't want them around. And it's not the truth. It's just I'm so used to being alone, being around people, and allowing myself to be in that vulnerable space of just being, there are pockets where I'm like great at it, and there's other times where I completely just shut down, and I'm trying to find the balance for myself. And I can explain it if I'm asked, but most of the time people don't ask. They just make their own assumptions and come to their own determinations, and it is what it is. So, something comes up and I have to be like, look, I am not that person. Let me explain it this way. Like, I love dogs. I think dogs are amazing. They are so expressive and they're so open, and it's something, I don't know if you can admire animals, but it's a trait that I admire in dogs. But I'm a cat, I'm more like, I'll give you some attention when I feel like it, and then I'm good. Like, I can survive on my own. I'm good. And the moment I feel like you're intruding on my space, I'm like, what are you doing? And that's how it is for me. On the off chance, though, that I feel like I'm giving interest, friend, family, or otherwise, or romantic, if I'm calling you to make sure you're okay, if I'm texting you to see how you're doing, if I'm looking out for you and I feel like, at least a minimum of that is not being returned, then I'm out. Like, stop looking for people to give you things and they're not willing to give you those things. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be a verbal confirmation. A lot of times it's energy, it's actions. Like, don't keep me here as a retainer. Like, don't think I'm just gonna sit around as your backup plan. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Like, if there's not a consistent back and forth on some level, then, and you know what? A lot of times too, we internalize that and we feel like, well, what did I do? Or am I not enough? Or maybe I need to do more, and you end up overcompensating for something that's not even your fault. Like, it's not even about you. If that person wants you in their life, again, like I said, family, friend, romantic. If that person or these people want you in their lives, they will make it known, and it's not going to be something that you have to guess, and it's not going to be in a place where you feel you have to overcompensate for who you are. Like, it doesn't make sense. Go where you're wanted. If you don't want me around, I promise you there are 15,000 other people who are like, yo, come through, Dex, because we love you just the way you are. And if we negated all that, I still love me just the way I am. I don't need you to boost my self-esteem or to make me feel good. I'm not one of those people. And it's just like, if I'm not interested in someone, I don't need you around to make me feel good. Like, oh, I got people chasing me. I got people nah. Look, we obviously are not on the same wavelength. So go about your business and I'm gonna go about mine. And it's gonna be fine. It doesn't take anything off of me. It doesn't take anything off of you. We just don't mesh, and it's okay. And, you know, we tend to think that initially you may become friends with someone and, you know, you have all the right things in common. And then somewhere along the line, something happens and the friendship may dissipate. It's fine. Everyone's not meant to go with you on this journey. You know, you have family, and just because you have family, you know, just because you share the same blood does not mean that they have to be in your life. Yeah, we share the same DNA, but your thought process may be completely different from my thought process. So do I continue to bang my head against the wall to make you see things my way? Do I continue to bang my head against the wall for you to see that I'm worth your time or that you should love me the way I love you? No. That's not how this goes. That's not how any of this goes. Remove yourself from situations where you don't feel wanted. Remove people from your life that don't seem to want you. And if at the end of the day, all you got is you, then you're good. You are so good. Because now you get to pick and choose who you want in your life, who you want in your circle, who you want in your square, who you want that's bringing good vibes and giving you the energy that you need, that you require. Like, I see these quotes all the time, and people talk about, oh, don't put your expectations on people. About, well, what are you supposed to put on people? What are you supposed to put on people? Everyone has boundaries. Everyone has a list of requirements. Or if you don't, you should. If you don't have boundaries, you need to start putting some in place. If you don't have expectations on how you want to be treated, people will treat you in the way that they see fit. Because you never set a bar, you never set a requirement. So this whole thesis about not putting your expectations on people is crap. I have expectations, I have boundaries, I have requirements, I have things that I want from you. And if I'm not getting those things, then guess what? I'm out. And it's not about monetary. It's completely not about monetary. It's about, like, are we friends? Am I receiving love for you? Am I receiving, what's the word I'm looking for? Shoot, like, it's escaped me. But again, like, what am I getting out of this? Am I receiving nourishment from you? Are you feeding me in the same way that I'm feeding you? If I'm giving you a whole buffet and you only got top ramen, then baby, this thing is uneven. Like, I'm not getting the same nourishment that I'm giving. If I'm giving you steak and you giving me what's the steakums, like, you know, it's a little bit closer, but it's not the same. But again, it's all about what you expect and those boundaries that you put in place and those expectations. You have every right to expect people to treat you in a certain way, to expect people to respect you in a certain way. And if they cannot do that, then remove them. And if they won't remove themselves, if they won't be removed, then you remove yourself from the situation. It's quite that simple. It really is that simple. You do not have to be in a space where you feel unwanted. You don't have to be in a space where you feel just tolerated. You don't have to live in that space, and no one should just feel just tolerated. I never want to be in a place where I feel like people just tolerate me. Me? Like, I'm bomb as fuck. What do you mean you just tolerate? It's impossible. But that's how I feel about me. That may very well not be how you feel about me, and it's fine. So because that's not the case, let me just me just mosey on by. Let me just go about my business, and you find somebody that you feel is best for you, and you fill your circle who you feel is best for you. And you know what? A lot of times too, like, you just don't mesh. You just are not on the same wavelength. You're just not in the same alignment with these folks. And it's cool. Like, people just really be like, just staying in space. Just, I can't stand the idea that I would be tolerated. Like, if your friends don't celebrate you, if your family doesn't celebrate you, if the people that you care about don't celebrate you, then and this does not negate what you bring to the table. Are you celebrating them? Are you doing those things that you feel like you would want to get back? You know, it's a reciprocal energy. Everything is reciprocal. Am I giving you the energy that I want to see back? And if you're not mirroring my energy, at least with a certain modicum of the same thing, then why am I here? If I'm cheerleading for you, if I'm rooting for you, and in the best of my ability, again, too, we have to look at what that person is capable of. But if I'm doing for you to the best of my ability, to the top of what I feel I can do for you, and I'm not getting any of that back, what am I here for? I can do bad by myself. I can feel bad by myself. I can do everything that I need to do by myself. So what's the point of surrounding myself with people who make me feel worse? Not only do I have to contend with the voices in my head, now I gotta deal with people who are not supportive, who don't mean me well, who don't make me feel good, who don't make me feel loved, who don't make me feel secure. What are you here for? Why are you staying there? I don't care, like I said, friends, family, or romantic. If I don't feel good in this situation, then I'm escaping the situation. I'm walking away from the situation. I'm removing myself from the situation, because you may get the first time off, but you won't get a second time. That's not how this works. I refuse. I've played that game. I've been in that space. So when I say this from a place of knowing, of wanting to belong in a space that you didn't belong. And it's the most challenging concept to wrap your brain around, you know, and it hurts. I get that. I completely get that. It hurts. It's gonna hurt more if you continue to stay in that space. And truthfully, sometimes walking away is where people understand your value. Like, damn, like, she's not even around no more. Like, sometimes walking away allows people to see your value. When you're there, people take things for granted. They take you for granted. They take your role in their life for granted. And sometimes walking away requires, it takes strength, but it allows other people to see what you brought to the table. And if at that point they reach out and they want to make amends and they're earnest about it, then fine. Now that you know who I am in your life, then we can move on. But if I walk away and you don't make any actions to bring me back and say, look, you know what, I messed up and I didn't, you know, like, I had one situation, and part of it was, a big chunk of it was because I felt like I didn't speak up. I had a friend, we're still friends, but at the time I used to do the children's hair, the kids' hair. They were my god kids. Well, one of them, but all of them, all kids are my kids. And I would do the kids' hair, and, you know, she would have them come over every so often. I would do it, blah, blah, blah. But it was, first of all, they had a lot of hair. And second of all, it was very time consuming, and she wasn't sending them over with, not only was I doing their hair for free, I was also providing them with food, sometimes car fare, like all this stuff. And this went on for years. And although I loved the children, I loved the kids, they were amazing, I felt some level of resentment because I'm like I feel like you taking me for granted. Like, you ain't sending over no coin. I still gotta feed them for a while. And, you know, one or two, 3, 4 times, yeah, but this became consistent. And I was resentful, but I didn't speak up. And then I can't remember how it got to this point, but at one point I just completely blew up. And she was unsuspecting. Like, she was just like, you know, like, damn, like, you never said anything. And I had to take the L on that. Like, I really didn't say anything. So it didn't stop me from being upset, because a lot of times, I guess for me, I expected her to want to do those things. But she had a lot of other things on her plate. She got kids, she got work, she got school, blah, blah, all these things we can't expect. I couldn't expect her to just think like, oh, let me send whatever, because I've been doing it. So why would you change the script now? And we already at the end of the show. So I said what I said, and she took a beat to digest and reflect on it. And we didn't speak for a long time. And I didn't hate her. I didn't want her out of my life. I think I just really wanted her to understand what I was doing was substantial, and that I did this from a place of loving and a place of caring for both her and the children, but don't take it for granted, you know? And so when we spoke about it a while later, and she was like, you know, I didn't know, I didn't even think of it. And then, like I said, Dick, you never said anything. And I apologize, because I never want you to feel that way. And going forth, we can figure something out, which takes a big person to even do that. Because some people are like, well, fuck you, bitch. And blah, blah, blah. Like, because they feel attacked. And which I can understand. Because the way I said it was just like, I just couldn't take it anymore. Because I was just like, it was like verbal diarrhea. And it taught me a lesson too, like, because she was one of the people who were pivotal in my life when I was homeless and I didn't have any place to stay, and she let me stay there. So part of me felt like it was me repaying that. But then it was like, well, how much repaying do I have to do? But I didn't set a boundary. I let it go and keep going and keep going and keep going, because I felt indebted to her, without saying like, yo, sis, could you know what I mean? Like, and in her mind, she wasn't even thinking about the fact that she had let me stay there and do whatever. Like, she just was looking at it like, oh, she helping me out. Like, that's my best friend. Like, she helping me out, blah, 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 blah. But again, this went on for quite some time. So it was my fault, and it taught me that I gotta learn to speak up for myself. And yeah, I may, even though someone has done something for you, that doesn't mean that you're indebted to them for the rest of your life. You know, you can repay the debt, you know, as you see fit, or even if you do see fit. When someone does something from the kindness of their heart, it doesn't mean that you owe them anything. And if you feel like you're being taken for granted, speak up as quickly as possible, because they may not even see it like that, you know? But that's an isolated incident. Going back to what I said, go where you're wanted. And if you feel like you're not wanted, then walk away and let people see. Like, and it will show them, and it will show you. It'll show them the value that you instilled in their life, and it will show you if they felt that you were valuable in their life. And if not, take the L, chuck your deuces, and move on. And you'll lick your wounds later, but in the end, you'll feel better walking away with your self-respect than if you stayed and just sat there like a damn dog. You know, that's one thing about dogs too that I despise in a way, because they're just like, they're so loving and they're so trusting, and you watch all these videos and these documentaries, how they can be treated so horribly and still love the person that treats them horribly. And it's something that I don't take from them. I'm learning how to be vulnerable without giving up my self-respect. And it's a process. So that's all I have for today. I thank you for spending time with me, and, you know, subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.